Hey everybody. So we're already all here. Joe's in the basement and it's all working good. And this is the first Lost Frontiersman discussion. And I'm going to try my best on it, but it's just going to be a discussion and, answer questions and go on topics. So we're going to pull Joe up out of the basement. Hello.
Hey guys.
It's going good. It's actually, is it lagging out on my side?
No, you look perfect. You look perfectly good. Yep.
All right. So we're just going to go from a comment, and you can go as long as you want on a comment. You don't have to jump off it quick, but okay. It's all going good. So that part's done. It's good. Okay. Quality's good. So I had a starting question that I was going to ask.
Okay.
And this is always because I'm like super phobic of ticks, and I shouldn't be because it's part of going in the woods. And I just wondered, do you ever have any problems with ticks?
You know what, man? Where I'm from, Southern Ontario, really, really close to Detroit, Michigan, just in Canada, obviously. I lived there my whole life, and for I want to say 20-something years, I never saw a tick. And I would go outside, and we had long grass. We have the oak savanna, lots of ferns. It's very, very tick friendly, lots of deer. I never saw a tick my whole life. Never heard of it being a problem. Never really concerned about Lyme disease. Nothing. And then
Wow.
I don't know, man. A few years ago, just out of nowhere, it was like a huge deal. Ticks everywhere. Lyme disease, dog ticks, deer ticks. So in Canada, it's hard for us. I don't know if it's specifically illegal, but it's hard for us to get permethrin. You know what that is?
Yeah,
Permethrin?
yeah.
Am I saying that right?
They put small amounts in the store-bought stuff.
Right, exactly. So you guys can treat your clothes with it, which we can't really do over here. If we
Really?
can, we have to get it illegally, I believe. We have to ship it over somehow without people knowing to have it. I know, exactly. It's crazy.
What?
Anyways, so permethrin is supposed to be a good thing. I've never really used it. I've had ticks. I was in Missouri. I've had seed ticks on my little boy parts. I was camping in a hammock.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah, and I had my clothes, like my pants on my shoes on the ground type thing, and they must have crawled in my pants or whatever. But they were real small seed ticks. I never knew about them until I got home
seed
days
ticks.
later. Yeah.
They're called seed ticks?
Seed ticks, yeah. They're really tiny. They're like pinhead.
See, if I looked down and saw that, I'd just faint.
Well, I didn't even know until I got home. I was showering and I found them, and I was like, oh, I had to get the wife to help and everything.
Oh man.
Yeah. But there's where I live now, there's lots of deer ticks, lots of deer ticks and lots of dog ticks. I've never really had a deer tick on me, but I've had lots of the lima bean looking dog ticks on the dog, and then I've seen a few on me as well. My daughter had one right here behind her ear at school, and they all freaked out about it, but it was fine.
Like in Pennsylvania, you can get permethrin, but it's in very small doses inside of the sprays they sell, and it's a lot of money too. And for me, I'll go out, and Pennsylvania is terrible with ticks. I think they're almost number one or something. And you go out, I put 1 foot down, 1 foot, and there was a deer tick right on my leg. And I hit it off, it stuck to this hand, kept sticking like this. I'm freaking out because I'm crazy with them. And they're just everywhere. Anything you touch, I picked up my tripod off the ground, and on the grip on the bottom, there was a tick and it got on my hand. They're everywhere.
I don't think it's as bad in Canada as it is in the States. The farther south you go, I think, you know what I mean? Michigan, Pennsylvania, Iowa, all those places around there, I think are pretty bad for ticks. I don't freak out about them. I'm not so I don't care about bugs type thing. If it's on me, it's not a big deal. But I obviously don't want to get Lyme disease. That's my number one concern about them.
Oh.
I think Ray Mears actually had Lyme disease for a few years, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
Yeah.
See, in me, it's not with the Lyme disease. It's not even that. It's just seeing a tick. The way it looks, no.
Yeah, they're gross.
Can't.
Oh, I agree. They're horrible things.
So you don't get many on you, or you said it just got worse the past couple of years.
Yeah, it got worse the past couple
took
of years,
off.
and then I moved north, and I'm thinking I would escape it. Obviously, that's not the reason I moved north, but thinking there's none up here too, but there is. There's plenty up here. No, it's just not that, like, they come around in the spring and then they kind of die off for a little bit. So to just stay out of the long grass type thing, like Jurassic Park, not into the long grass. Stay out of the long grass.
If there was a video of me going through high grass out in the woods, I look like a deer, like high stepping. I'm high stepping, and you can't get. It was a marsh with grass, and I was high stepping, and they still got on me. And it's like $30 spray. It's that yellow bottle. I don't know if you've seen that. It's Hunter something or whatever.
I don't know.
And even that didn't even work for me. So
right. Yeah, no, I think you just got to deal with it, man. It's part of it, right? Tick check.
Oh man, see, that's one of the reasons I don't know if I get a dog eventually, because the ticks, like.
Yeah, well,
I'll get over it. I know I will. I
try and keep him out of the long grass, but he's pretty crazy. You know what I mean? So it's like, again, I think it's only the spring around here, so it's probably not as bad as where you are.
So like when you're like, did you get them on you a lot whenever you lay in your shelters you build, like on the flat logs?
I don't camp in the weather that there would be ticks in that type of shelter. I go straight whenever there's like ticks, bugs, mosquitoes type thing, black flies. I go straight to shelters with screen nets. I'm not messing around with bushcraft in the middle of the summer. I'm just not. You know what I mean? I've suffered enough. I have black fly. I get this thing called black fly fever. I get blood poisoning from these things, and there are millions of them all over. They've actually found moose, 1 ton creatures suffocated to death because of the amount of black flies gone up their nostrils and just choked them out. That's how thick they
in their nose.
Yeah. Ooh. I swear that's how thick they can get up here. So
maybe it's like move north.
Yeah, I'm not playing around in the summertime. It's like as soon as the spring hits, boom, right into screen shelters, man. So no, I have not had them in the problems with ticks in the natural shelters because of that.
Yeah, that's crazy. The flies there, because the flies and mosquitoes, they're meh, like, and the ticks are crazy. But so up there, the flies are really bad.
And the black flies, I don't know, they're probably different than what you're thinking of. Black flies are like tiny little,
like gnats.
Not even like gnats. They land on you instead of just landing and stinging. They land on you and they crawl and they find an opening. So even if you tuck all your stuff, they find an opening, and they have instead of having a proboscis like a mosquito does, they have like anticoagulating blood and these alien mouths where they just take a chunk out of you, and then you just bleed profusely or whatever. I had scars all across my belly for years from a horrible trip I did, like, I don't know, 15 years ago or something.
Holy cow.
Yeah, man, they're rough. So they're not like big flies like you're thinking. They're like more like a mosquito-y type swarm, but billions of them.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I'll pull up a question now. Now that that's clear, that's the one thing that's had me stumped for a while. Like, how many ticks is on Joe right now? Because I'm that nuts with them. Like, I'll be watching when you're in a shelter or something. I'm thinking, how many ticks or ticks did he run into? So really, none then.
It's so much colder up here, man. You know what I mean? The area, or sorry, the lifespan of them in the year is so much shorter.
Aye. Well, it's answered no. Aye. What's your scariest bushcrafting moment?
Oh man, I was on a canoe trip, like across Algonquin Park, and my friend Doug and I were camping, and a storm kicked up, and my biggest fear is trees falling on me, that and hypothermia. And it's like, I'm not really too worried of bears or anything like that. You know what I mean? It's those two things, because I can't really help it. And we're sitting by the fire, and where our tents are, all of a sudden crashed like dominoes. 3 big white pine, I'm talking huge, like 100-year-old pine, come down 10 feet from our tents. And like we were watching it happen, and it's nighttime. I see it coming, and I run backwards. I fall off this little, like, not cliff, but like this rock, kind of just backwards off it, because I was terrified. I swore it was coming right at me or whatever. Yeah, that was probably the scariest thing. That, and then almost dipping my canoe in the middle of a solo adventure 3 days deep when I haven't seen anyone, right at ice out. So the water was like I would have died.
Man.
Yep.
Those I'm not gonna keep this on me anymore after this because I know the ticks already said about me. But a while ago I had a tree fall on me, like just about that big
On you.
around. Yeah, and it crushed me. It folded me in half.
I bet.
So I could imagine how strong a tree like that would be. It just flatten you.
You could have no chance at all.
No.
And even if it just landed on your leg, we were like, however, 4 or 5 days deep in the middle of the wilderness. There's no one around. You know what I mean? Luckily, I was with someone with that at that time. But like, your tent's crushed, potentially your boat's crushed. Yeah, Mother Nature,
So
man.
you're stranded, Nate. You're stranded and injured, or you're
Exactly.
injured, or you're dead. Mainly dead.
Or you're dead. Or you wish you were because you're just like, mush.
Oh, there's a comment. See it with me. Like, I'm not going to answer any questions. I'm just going to mainly keep it to Joe. But live in Maryland, Chiggers. Okay.
Yeah,
Chiggers.
no, I don't think we'd have chiggers. So I was in Dolly Sods in West Virginia hiking with buddy Kyle, and it was early April, and there was still a little bit of snow on the ground. We were in a pine forest, and we put our stuff down. We were done. We were exhausted from backpacking for the day. Put our stuff down, open it up, lay down. And a couple minutes later, look at our water bottles and everything, and there's just black with everything. I'm like, what is this?
Is it those snow fleas?
They were snow fleas.
I hate those things so much.
I thought they were chiggers, but they were definitely snow fleas. But the only experience I do have with chiggers was in Iowa at the Lowe's Hills with Terry Barney at the Midwest School of Bushcraft. They burn, once they they burrow in a little bit, and it's kind of like a burny thing. But no, none in Canada. No, again, I think we're too cold. I lived in like literally the warmest place in Canada. I'm pretty sure about that. So we would have had them down there, but I don't think so.
For me, like super quick, in case they're wondering, chiggers. There's a ton of them here. Like you'll be spreading straw in the chicken coop, and they'll just get on your skin. They're in the straw. Oh my gosh.
Does it burn kind of? They go in you, right?
Yeah, it's like little bumps, and they burrow in, but they're so small. They're unbelievably small.
Yeah,
like,
you can't even really see them. You really only see like the red dots, more or less, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, just like little bumps. It's like a heat rash, but it's little dots.
Definitely.
And then when I found out that's what that was, eventually it freaked me out. But the Bushcraft daughter. Favorite moment
Millie,
with Tripper.
Hey Millie. Favorite moment with Tripper. Oh man, probably when I taught him to get into the canoe, when he was most excited to get into the canoe, because that was like the biggest thing for me when I first got him. I named him Tripper, you know what I mean, for canoe tripping. I really want him to be my canoe tripping partner, and I trained him hard. I learned how, and I did everything right, and it took like a few times, and he was just jumping in that canoe every time he saw it, just overly excited, just like when he was a puppy, still like just doing like rolls into the canoe because he couldn't balance. That was probably one of my favorite moments with him. Although that and when I see him I'm looking at him right now. He's in his crate, and when I see Autumn come in, my baby come in, and she sits on his face in there, and she slams the crate door on him and in her, and she's jumping on him, and he's just going looking at me like not even moving. I really do appreciate that as well.
Yeah, he's so jumpy. Like,
to say the least.
You got to start from the bottom training again, and I mean, I'm sure it's a fun experience, isn't it?
It's not even. It's like he's over the top, man. He's a different animal, dude. He's like,
oh man,
yeah.
What, the Tasmanian devil, where he's like spinning?
Yes, Tasmanian devil, Velociraptor, jackal, wild jackal.
See, that'd be too crazy for me. That's why cats. I'm like a cat guy.
Oh yeah.
I'll eventually, like I said, I will get a dog to go with me, but I need to be able to drive and everything. So
Yeah, I hear you, man. We have cat. We've always had cats too. We have a snow Bengal right now too. Really, the cat doesn't even have a name. It was named like Snowflake or Snowball or something like that when we got it, but now we just call it Cat. Just Cat.
And you said Tripper's in a crate.
Yeah.
He has his own crate.
Yeah, oh, yeah, yeah. It's a big old crate with the whole thing's lined with a big old pillow. The door's wide open. It's just his safe spot. We crate trained him, so he likes going in there now. It's a good idea to crate train dogs.
You put a big crate on the front of a 4-wheeler or something, have him jump in like crazy.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
How good are y'all with starting fires in wet conditions? And have you ever tried starting one with a bow? How did it turn out?
Yeah, well, depending on how wet you mean, like on alone, obviously it was super hard. I had a problem getting with the fire steel. And then when my fire steel was gone, I didn't even try with the bow because I just knew the conditions there. Like I was wringing out water out of anything that was dead that was under, I don't know, a foot in diameter. But on the other hand, I did a bow drill maybe last year. I did an overnight video right after it had been ice storm. There's you can see me like peeling ice off of the wood and everything. Made the full bow drill kit out there. Made the tinder bundle out there. Blew it into flames and everything. So it's like in the cold, in the winter, in the wet wood and everything. I did it, no problem. Well, not no problem. I got it done. But on alone, I wouldn't even have tried it, man. It wasn't even an option. Where I was, the specific time of year that I was there, how wet it had been, where I was, my location specifically, just wasn't an option.
See me, I've never even done a bow drill, but I mean, I've seen other people do it on YouTube, and I'm gonna do it. I've got to do it. I'm terrible at starting fires. I'm terrible.
I can send you a proven set if you'd like, and then that way you know it works. You just gotta work on it.
Oh, you don't have to.
All right.
Use charcloth tinder. You know, I have some of that, and it works pretty good. But it's hard keeping it together. Like a lot of times I'll have it, and I'll have it in my bag, and it leaks out of the sack it's in, and there's just charcoal everywhere. So
well, yeah, no, it works fine. It's just you're not going to blow that into flames. That's just like a first stage. You're going to catch a spark with that, right? If you use a ton of it, for sure you can blow that into flames, but that'd be a waste of your charcoal. So, yeah, you could use that to extend your ember from your bow drill. Or you can use that to catch a spark from a flint and steel or from a fire steel, and then blow that into flames. But you still need a proper tinder bundle. Like I don't even like to use jute twine because to me that defeats the purpose. But definitely jute twine to practice, or if that's what you have, or if it's wet, but shredded up inner fibers of bark or grasses or very fine wood shavings like feather sticks.
see, like me, I have no knowledge of any of that. So once I rewatch this, I'll
There you go.
some.
There you go.
Oh, here's a good one. What's the coolest bird you've ever seen?
Oh, probably a golden eagle, maybe an osprey. Osprey are really cool because I don't know for you guys who don't know, they are Google them. They're a sweet looking bird, but they come in and they'll dive. They'll actually dive right into the water and grab fish out and fly off with them and stuff. But sometimes I think it's the osprey have this thing where they don't really retract their talons. So if the fish is too heavy, I mean, they might go down with it type thing. I'm pretty sure that's the osprey. If not, then it's another bird. But other than the osprey, the golden eagle, we were camping and Buddy shot a goose, and we were in the water in our canoes, and we're canoeing over to get it, and all of a sudden we hear out of nowhere, and the freaking golden eagle swooping to try to get this wounded goose in the water, and we're trying to like figure out like, yeah, it was really cool, and we we're all filming, and it's like, do we let this eagle get this goose and film that, or do we get the goose and eat it for dinner and film that? We ended up eating it, obviously, because he shot it, but yeah, no, yeah, both very cool experiences with birds.
That's cool. Like the osprey, there's a lot. Like right around here, it's Pymatuning Lake. I know some people that watch me know about it, but Pymatuning, there's so many osprey and bald eagles. It's it's one of those kind of lakes where it's there's carp, like loads of carp, and then there's the osprey going over, bald eagles everywhere. The coolest bird I've seen though was a snow owl. I seen it right across the road, up in a tree. It was this oak tree, dark, and then you just seen this owl just sitting there, bright white. That's the coolest I've seen.
That would be cool. I've only seen like an owl once or twice, man, and like it's like fleeting. Like, was that an owl type thing? Yeah, very cool. I saw a fox today, a big red fox. I was four-wheeling, and I came across like over this it's like beaver dam thing, and I see it. I see the red, and I'm like man, that's something stands out because it's all spring right here. It's like very gray and bleak, right? So I'm just watching. All of a sudden, he darts off. It was the biggest. It was like a coyote-sized fox. It was very big.
Wow.
Yeah.
Around here, if they get a chance to live, you can spot them because the coyotes are so nuts with the fox. Like
just killing them.
Oh yeah, it's like the wolves with the coyotes. You know, they see them, they kill them and leave them. And I have one video of this fox that was sleeping on top of like this gravel pit, but that was a good 2 years ago now. But it's cool seeing the fox because they are kind of hard to find. You know what?
Actually, to be honest with you, I've been seeing them a lot lately. It might have been the same guy. I don't know. It was around the same spot, but I was driving my kids to go smelt fishing. You know what smelt are?
Yeah.
Fish? Yeah, we were going smelt fishing the other day. Oh, man, it was hot. We got like bucket loads. It was crazy. But
really?
but we were leaving at like 11 o'clock at night, so it was dark. I'm like, look, girls, a fox on the road, and we look up, and he had darted by, so I slowed right down. We're looking out the window, and I didn't even notice he was eating a dead deer that had got hit by a car right in the middle of the road, and the whole back of his neck was like gone, like a big U, like he was like just taking chunks off, and there was little blood footprints everywhere.
What? Just all over the road, just prints, tiny little.
Yeah.
See, like something I like to ask, like when we're on the topic of animals, do you have a lot of fisher up there, or do you ever even see fisher?
I've never seen a fisher. I would absolutely love to see a fisher, a wolverine, anything like that. Man, they're so elusive, I think. Have you?
Well, I know at my grandma's house they've seen them. I haven't personally seen one, but I know like.
Are you in the north? Are you in northern Pennsylvania?
Yeah, northwest. Okay. I'm right up by Lake Erie. And,
okay. Yeah.
There's so many fisher here. They released 2 about 10 miles from me. They released 2 of them. And it was to keep down the turkey population. Well, I don't know what the heck they were thinking.
That's pretty old school thought right there, man.
The game commission, they release something. It kills all of them. Then they release one to kill that. And then they keep releasing stuff that doesn't need release. And the turkeys are already getting pounded by possum and everything. And they release the fishers, and they kill everything. And they have no predator.
Yeah.
They released it to kill the porcupines because they said there was too many. They're killing the trees. And they do. But the fisher, they've been just going crazy, just duplicating. And, I mean, they're everywhere. I haven't seen them here.
I don't doubt it.
But I'm sure the next couple of years I'll see them because just up Allegheny Mountains around that area, my uncle went up there bear hunting, and he's seen 4 different times he's seen a fisher run by just out in the woods.
That's what they call them, fisher cats, eh?
Fisher cat, yeah.
Yeah.
And they're about that big.
Yeah, and they're vicious, dude.
Yeah, they'll kill cats,
attack
dogs.
For like a little Wolverine.
It's like a Wolverine, badger, mink, weasel.
Yeah.
It's all of it.
Yeah, they're cool. That's where I went to Pennsylvania. I went to the Allegheny Mountains, the Allegheny National Forest. That's where I went to camp a couple times.
What'd you think of PA?
It was rocky.
Yeah.
It was the
I
rockiest.
like it. And even if you get away from the mountains, there's still rocky roads from all the potholes here.
Dude, we like I wish I had a hammock. Like I couldn't find a flat spot to save my life.
Really?
Yeah.
Around here, there's a lot of flat spots in like my specific area, but it's all flooded. It's always wet. Like I had my hot tent out in the yard. Little bit of wind would pull the stakes right out of the ground because it was so
soft. Right.
So wet.
Yeah, we I don't know where we were, but I remember it was all young beech trees, the whole place, and we had to cut a bunch down just to find a spot to put the tent. And then they were all like, we had to mash them down so that they weren't poking up through the floor of the tent. But that was in the old Bushcraft USA days, and I used to camp with the Ohio crew and the Pennsylvania crew. And there was a lot of stories of Bigfoot actually when we were there for some reason. Is that a thing there? Or is that just those?
Bigfoot?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a thing.
Like
You'll drive
stories.
my house. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to say yeah about like that, but like
Oh
you
yeah.
look. Oh yeah. You look at porches. I kid you not about this. You'll look at a house, and they will have about 10 Bigfoot statues cement in their yard. Like Bigfoot
That's
is such
really
a big
weird.
thing.
Yeah,
And
okay.
there's so many stories about Bigfoot. So
See,
many.
that's what I remember. I remember there going and talking about Bigfoot with some guy from Pennsylvania.
What, it's not big up there where you live? Really?
No,
See, I thought Bigfoot was this national occurrence. Is Bigfoot.
Yeah, of course people think about it. I couldn't find one person. I couldn't think of one person in my life that would actually believe that there was a Bigfoot. Like I couldn't think of a person off the top of my head. Les Stroud maybe, but he's not really in my life.
Oof. I had a question that I was thinking about. Do you prefer winter camping or summer? And I know you already talked about the black flies and everything, but what do you prefer?
There was a time when I would have said winter camping. But if you're asked, I probably would prefer summer camping now just because there's more options for me to do. I really like canoeing. You know what I mean? I've really started, like, in the past few years, really, really loved and enjoy canoeing and fishing. Not that you can't fish in the winter, but I just really don't do too much in the winter anymore. Lots of things for me to do in the summertime, so I'd probably say summer. I do prefer fall. Fall is my absolute favorite time of year,
Yeah.
but again, with all outdoorsmen, all outdoors people, I'm sure that that's the case.
Yeah, because I've probably watched your camping in the one hot tent you had before. I probably watched that exact one like 5 times. I don't know the exact title, but like you're the reason I wanted to get this canvas hot tent for so long because it looks so cool. You have like this mini like traditional style canvas tent, and you got a wood stove in it, and it's super cool.
You know what? If you look at my top videos, like I want to say 4 out of 5 of them are winter camping, and there's a couple of reasons behind that. You're right. It's a very cool type thing, especially when most of my audience is American and most of the states are not really winterized, right? You got a lot of the states, even I know you are where you are. The Midwest still gets a lot of snow and stuff like that, but a lot of the states doesn't. So it's more of a foreign thing. So when you can see someone being out there, being comfortable in the snow and the cold and thinking like, man, like that's crazy, you know what I mean? And it does make you want to try it too. It is fun. It's a lot of fun. My thing is like I prefer winter camping with people, with a lot more people. It's fun time. The sun goes down early, you know what I mean? It gets dark. So sitting there from 5 o'clock until when you go to bed by yourself, however often, isn't, you know what I mean? It's like, okay.
Yeah, it's boring.
Yeah, you get over it, you know?
Yeah. Like when I had this hot tent out the one night, I was just sitting in there. I was sitting there just sweating, like absolutely sweating.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can't cool it down. You just can't. You cannot cool it down. If you start getting hot, you're hot for a good like 2 hours before it's cleared. At least in my tent.
What kind do you have?
It's a oh man, what is the name?
I don't know.
What is the name?
That's all right.
They helped me out.
Is it a pyramid one?
Well, it's their design tent they have, and it peaks up huge in the one spot, and then it drapes down towards the front.
Gotcha.
So you can kind of stand in the front, outside, and still be covered.
Okay.
And it's made in Colorado and everything. What is the name? It's under my bed. It's it's Eli's Canvas Tents.
Okay.
And because I emailed a ton of different websites that I thought were like good quality tents, and they emailed me back, and I've stuck with them since, because that thing, I have put it through like a snowstorm, windstorm, and they told me to do it because, you know, it waterproofs it, and
Right.
it makes everything expand. So, and there's not a single rip in it or anything.
Nice.
And
That's awesome. Yeah, you know, mine if I open the doors, it vents out a little bit. And then there's two vent holes on the top, but those really don't do all that much. But you're right. Like I have there's definitely occasions where I'm like running out of the door for air. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because I'm like
I
gasping.
I woke up the one night when I redid like the 70 subscriber special, the 2nd-year anniversary.
Yeah.
It was like 3 a.m, and I woke up and I couldn't breathe at all. I couldn't breathe. It was like 120
Oh
up at the
man.
top. And like
Yeah,
I
when you
said,
stand up,
it
it's
tapers
bad.
down. You can open that door, but it tapers. The heat, it stays,
Get
you
stuck.
know, about a
Yeah,
couple of foot off the ground.
right.
And there was no fire in it at all, and it was that hot. So my body was probably trying to wake me up for a good like 20 minutes, telling me to get out of there.
Right.
But you're either freezing or you're super hot. That's
Yeah,
for me at least.
it's a
You can
fine line.
control it.
Yeah, it takes a bit. It takes a little bit of playing with it and fine tuning and stuff. Yeah, I agree. You know, because those stoves aren't cast iron either or big and thick. They're not really holding the heat, so it's a lot of
Yeah,
flash until you get a bit of coals built up. But you know what? I bought a Lux. You know Lux.
yeah. Lux. Was it they got like the vinyl ones, right? Or
Yeah, this one's it's a I think it's sill nylon or ripstop nylon, and then it has an inner tent. So because I've had them before, I've been in one before, a nylon one with a wood stove, and it gets so much condensation on the sides and it drips down, and it's bad. Like you get soaked. Like I'm talking, if you brush it, you're soaked. But with the double wall, with the inner tent, that doesn't happen. It just kind of sheds off. So I got that, and I got and I have a small foldable titanium wood stove. I still haven't put them up at all, but it's big enough for me and Tripper. My plan was it'll be good for late spring canoe tripping when I go out, and if it's crappy weather, if it's raining all the time, if it's cold, we can go in there and dry off, warm up. You know what I mean, and be fine.
yeah.
But right now there's a camping ban in
Mm.
Ontario, so
Yeah, like if I'm gonna be honest, I was gonna go with one like that, like one of the, because they're cheaper, aren't they, compared to like the canvas tents?
oh, definitely cheaper and lighter, but like they're not the same thing. Like it's not like durable and like wintry. Like I wouldn't really. You can use them in the winter, people do, but they're not hard like heavy duty. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But I think I
yeah.
paid a few $100s for it, as opposed to however much like the canvas tents are big time with the
I
stoves. They're
mean, like
expensive.
this one was, I think this one was 1,200,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no
and
doubt.
I mean it is worth it, but you know I'm gonna be mainly using it in the summer, like when I go next to rivers and I'm like trout fishing and stuff. I just set
Love
that
it.
up,
Love it.
and that's why I went with it, because it's so rugged, and the canvas you can throw a rock at it, and you know
Yeah.
usually it'll come off, but
Yeah, and you know what? The good thing is if you're going on like a small in the wintertime, it's great because you can pull it in a sled, or if you car camp, or if you can take it in a canoe that you don't have to portage a lot, you're just going down the river, like you said, and stop every now and then and camp. It's amazing for that luxury, dude.
oh, another thing, because this is something, you know, you never like, you'll see in your videos, like when you're hot tent camping, like with me, I had a super hard time getting it dry so it wouldn't have mildew on it or anything when I like wrapped it up. I don't know. Did you ever even have a problem with anything like that?
Yeah, I usually keep it outside, like in the shed or something in the cold, and so that's not a problem. And like, because you can't dry it off completely unless you bring it inside your house and you have somewhere that you can let it, because it stinks, right? Like it
Yeah,
stinks with
I
that
brought
smoke. Like,
it in here. I have a picture of my Instagram where it's like the whole living room is just this giant.
oh,
It's a 12 by 12, and
it's
it's
big.
just giant tent, just
Yeah, that's
completely
big.
draped out. And it took a couple of days to dry it off. It's under my
Well,
bed right there. That's what that roll
right.
is. But
I would leave it outside, you know what I mean? If you have a shed or a garage or something like that until the warm weather, and then I set it up outside for a couple sunny days. That's basically what I do. But like it does have some staining and stuff on it, but like it's not mildew. It doesn't stink like mold or anything.
see, that's the one thing that I really, that's why I didn't really go with canvas. Like at first, it's not what I really want to do. I seen your video and everything where you're in it and how cool it looked, and that was the spark to it. But then I kept thinking, is this really what I want? Is it too heavy? Is it going to get wet? But then I just like traditional looking things. Like I want to have a whole setup where I do a video series where I have on like a buffalo jacket and then I'm in that and I'm trapping and fishing and
Nice.
because I like traditional looking things.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
That's why I went with canvas.
I know exactly what you mean, man. I have sets of kits that are like fast, high speed, fast paced, lightweight, still nylon stuff, and then I have like heavy duty bushcraft, frost river, wax canvas stuff. You know what I mean? Leather and axes, and like there's different kits for different purposes. But I definitely know what you mean. I like the traditional thing too.
Oh, I had a comment, but there we go. Have you or Joe ever heard a strange noise / sound that had scared you to hell and back while camping?
You go first.
Okay, well, it wasn't a strange noise. Like I haven't had a strange. Actually, yeah, but I know what it was afterwards. I was out just walking around, and I wasn't camping, but I was hiking looking for arrowheads on our old property, and I heard like this pterodactyl sound, like super loud, the weirdest noise you could have ever heard in your life. And after I could find it, I looked up and it was a heron flying over.
Yeah.
They make the weirdest noise I've ever heard, but it scared the crap out of me for a good 10 minutes.
They are like a pterodactyl, though.
Yeah, sure. It's such a weird noise.
So I was paddling across Algonquin Park in Canada here in Ontario. It's Ontario's oldest park. It's a big park. And we're paddling west to east, and it takes us like 8 days. And me and my friend Doug. We both have separate canoes, separate tents, all that stuff. We have the best trip. We'll catch trout for 3 days, and then it changes into bass. We have big long portages, hard long days, rewarding days. It's an awesome trip. We get done our last day. Excuse me, this is day 8, night 8 now. We roll into camp at like 7:30, 8 o'clock. It's starting to get dim already. We run around, grab a bunch of firewood and stuff, sit down with our stoves, get the fire going, get our food into us. We're just relaxing, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, probably like I want to say like 20 or 30 feet away, imagine taking a solid dead log, like probably like a baseball. Imagine taking a baseball bat, a wooden baseball bat, and just whacking the trunk of a tree as hard as you possibly could. Okay, imagine the sound that would make, or a log doing it that size. Imagine the sound that would make 20 feet from where you're sitting. Just full on your supper, relax after like one of the hardest trips you've ever done. We just look at each other, jump up because somebody's there. You know what I mean? So, to us,
it was that loud, like just a wham.
100%. There's no doubt in my mind somebody's right there. We jump up. I just look at Doug, and Doug's like an intimidating dude. I'm like, so I feel like, okay, what's up? I'm like, hey! I'm like, who's here? I'm like, whatever I'm doing, like puffing my chest up, like walking my flashlight on and stuff. Nobody's there. There's nothing there. There's no footprints. We look all around. There's nothing. There's no sign of anyone. We don't hear a leaf rustle. And we're just like, what the hell? 20 minutes of walking around the camp, big perimeter, nothing. Then come back, sit down, just drinking our tea or whatever. We're just letting the fire go down. Nobody says nothing. Me and Doug aren't saying a damn thing to each other. Like I'm talking like 10 minutes go by, nothing. Half an hour goes by. I just look at him. I'm like, man, I really wish that didn't just happen.
And you haven't heard a Bigfoot up there.
No, exactly. Oh, yeah, exactly. So I'm like, man, I really wish that didn't just happen. He's like, I know. So we go to bed, both of us, early that night, just
Did you
terrified.
sleep well?
We slept well because we were beat. So the next morning, we wake up and we're packing all of our stuff up, and Doug all of a sudden just starts busting up laughing. And I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "Come here." He goes, "You remember Sasquatch from last night?" I go, "Yeah." And he points to his tent, and one of the tent poles had broken and snapped against his fly
Oh,
with as much torque as you could possibly
oh, so
imagine,
it was like a crack.
like a crack.
Oh wow.
And that was the noise. And that's why it sounded so close, because it was his freaking tent, which was right there, right? Man.
Oh
So
man.
again, same thing. Like, it was nothing at all. You know what I mean?
I'd flip out.
And the next morning, wolves were like, I don't know, man, right around the corner, just howling like crazy. We got all on film and everything too, just howling, going to town. But yeah, man, that was like the scariest sound noise thing that I've ever. And
Oh
yeah, just to clear it up, we do know about Sasquatch and Bigfoot and stuff like that. It's just nobody. It's not like a really common like thing.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
Well, actually, like creepiest noise, and I knew what it was it was one morning. Me and my friend were camping, and we were waking up and everything, and we started packing stuff up because I already made breakfast and everything. And we're not super far from my house. We call it the racetrack. It was property connected to our house. It was like a 4-wheeler place. I'd say about a half mile back from the house, and right behind where we camped, which I don't know what I was thinking, was the gut pile from trapping.
Oh,
And
wow.
that morning, never heard anything that night at all. There was no noises. And in the morning, after we're getting ready to go, everything's done, that was fun. All of a sudden, the siren goes off, the test siren at the town. And, it's woo. And all of a sudden, there's this whole pack of coyotes howling to it.
To the siren.
To the siren.
Right
behind where we were camping. And they were in sync with it, but you could hear the different levels.
Of course.
And it freaked me out. We started packing up really quick, and we took off. They weren't far at all. They were right.
Funny.
I know where they were. There's a fence line not far back from the gut pile. They were on the other side of that. They had to have been.
That's funny. I know exactly what you mean.
Me out.
I bet. I know exactly what you mean about the siren. I never heard Scout, my old dog Scout. I never heard him howl for anything ever. And then like 3 years into his life, a freaking fire truck drives by with its siren on, and he stops dead in the middle of the sidewalk, just to the siren.
They just can't help it.
I couldn't believe it, man.
They just can't help it. All right, here we go. This is for you because I haven't had any encounters with them.
Yeah, I have a Rose for a more. I haven't had any bear encounters. I've seen them in the wild plenty of times, but they all just run away. Like, I chased one down on a portage with my camera, but I only had my GoPro, so it was like just like a little dot. We were paddling in a little river, and 2 cubs. This was the scariest thing. All of a sudden, 2 cubs run up the bed. We're in this small little river, and it goes down in a gully, like just small, like maybe a 5-foot drop. And it's meandering, and all of a sudden we look over, and 2 baby black bears run up the bank and scurry up a tree real quick. And we're just looking around for Mom, because she could have leapt from either side of the bank right onto us. It was that tight. But no, I've seen them swimming in the water in front of me. I've seen them in the woods. I've seen them driving. I've seen them in trees. On Vancouver Island, on a lone, one was right across the river from me on the first night. But no, they never bother me. I don't know. I really am not too concerned about them either. I don't ever carry any weapons or anything like that. I carried bear spray on one of my trips, my 10-day solo up north, because I was alone. Yeah, no. You know what? If I had grizzlies around, that'd be a different story. But these black bears, I feel like they're really 9 times out of 10 they're just going to run away. It's when you have these habituated bears in parks and things like that is the problem. They become habituated to campsites and people being there and leaving trash and feeding them stupidly and things like that, where they can be used to that and turn a little bit aggressive, or then obviously the common thing is when the cubs are around. But I've never had a problem.
Yeah, you're lucky that mom wasn't right there.
Yeah, and
You're
we
probably
didn't really have an
terrified
option.
there.
Pardon?
You're probably terrified right then. You're like, oh,
Well, yeah, I
where's the
wanted to
mom?
go. Like at the same time, don't get me wrong, I'm filming them. You know what I mean? I'm getting my footage, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, but that's part of it. You know what I mean? Like you're out there, you want to capture everything, and you see bears. It's like, okay, definitely got to get that on film. But like the
Yeah.
back of my neck, the hairs were standing up.
Yeah, like I mean, I have seen like one in person. I was way down this field, like half a mile down a field, and they were bear hunting, and I saw one fly out of these pine trees, and because you could see he's running so fast, like his butt and his pants are like going forward. You could see the hair.
Yeah,
And how fast the black bear was running was insane.
they can move. That's funny that you mentioned that. That's how you know you actually saw like the detail. Like when I chased that one down on the portage, he was in. So I'm walking through the wilderness with a canoe on my head. I'm talking like a forest, and there's like a clearing where it was super wet because we had rained for 5 days or whatever. It was like a meadow, and I saw the bear, and when he saw me, he ran, and I could see the water getting kicked up from his feet when he was running, and that's in my mind vivid. Just the same thing as what you're saying about the hair being pushed forward. It's how you know you like saw it.
Yeah, it's crazy how they run. Like how they
Yeah.
run. It's oh yeah, she's just walking, but the way they run, they like
Yeah.
that. Like you don't want that jumping on you
Oh,
because
it's a
that wouldn't be good.
bulldozer. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
What's your favorite camp meal?
Oh man, my favorite camp meal has to be like steak and potatoes. You know what I mean? Like I'll do a ribeye over the fire with over the coals, and then do potatoes in tinfoil with garlic and onions and salt and pepper. Maybe throw some bacon in there. Yeah, that's probably mine.
But that's mine. Like steak, just steak.
Yeah, yeah, you
Like
gotta love it.
you can't beat it.
No, really, like on the other hand, when I do go fishing and camping and stuff like that, like fresh caught trout or deep fried, you bring the fish crisp and you deep fry them or batter them and fry them in oil and stuff. Even bass when you do it that way is delicious. But yeah, steak, deep fried fish. Maybe even if I'm backpacking and I want to be lightweight, I dehydrate my own food. I'll just dehydrate spaghetti that my wife makes. You know what I mean? Just normal straight up spaghetti, and I like that too.
I remember you had it a while ago. There was one you had for a long time that was in your bag.
Yeah.
I always remember that. As soon as I think of dehydrated food, I just think of that one bag you had.
Just kicking around. Nice.
Yeah, but like steak, and then like, what's your favorite breakfast?
I do like bacon and eggs in the woods, and even sometimes like again, if I'm just doing it overnight or something like that, around when weight and space and perishables don't matter, I do like bacon, eggs. Excuse me. Bacon and eggs over the fire on like a bagel with like a nice like tea, like that's my favorite kind of thing. But in the bush when I'm on a canoe trip, I like oatmeal and then like a ready crisp bacon type thing to go with it.
I love bacon.
Yeah.
like I said, bacon, eggs, and then steak.
Yeah, you can't go wrong, man.
And like you said, you like trout. Like I was freaked out about it. I should have been freaked out, but like I was nervous because everybody around me doesn't like trout at all. They said it's gross. You will not like it at all.
Mm.
And my grandma, she's from England. Whenever we catch them, we give them to her. And last year I tried one I caught after we gave them to her, and I loved it.
Yeah.
There is that taste, but it's so good. Like a week ago, I cooked 3 of them I caught the same day, and I love them. They're so good.
How do you cook them?
Just I put them in a pan with butter, and they were whole and everything. Well, no guts, of course, but
Yeah.
there was 3 of them in a pan. They were stock trout.
Yeah.
And 3 of them in a pan, and that had me full. Just those 3. So
man, that's how I started too. And then like or even I would broil it. I would gut it, leave it whole, cut the head off, broil it with like some garlic and stuff inside it, like a bigger one or whatever, and then just like peel the bones out. You know what I mean? My favorite way really to do them, like I've caught lake trout, big lake trout or big brookies, and just splayed them open and cooked them over the fire. That's to me like the smoke and the fish taste and like the little crisp black parts, how the bone just peels out and everything. It just like screams camping to me. That's like a very nostalgic type thing to me. Like when you see the picture of the guy with like the 4 or 5 trout on a stick with the hook through that's a nostalgic-y type thing for sure.
Yeah, I can't wait. Like I want to get into fly fishing and tie my own fly. I love to do a series where like I go out and tie flies next to the river with the canvas tent and then try to catch trout on them.
Yeah, and then cook it on in a cast iron pan on your stove or something. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, I love cast iron. I use a ton of butter, so I don't even have to season it. I just wipe it down right after. But like the trout, I'm so glad, like, because everyone around me didn't like it, and I tried it and it's good. So
you have good trout fishing there, don't you in PA?
Yeah, they stock them pretty well. Like there's
in
steelhead
ponds
that comes
in streams.
Well, in streams, and from Erie, the steelhead come upstream.
Yes.
And at the same fishing hole where you can get these little stock trout, they have the steelhead. Dad just caught one the other week.
Yeah, I'm saying they're going right now, aren't they?
Yeah, they're coming right through.
Yeah.
And you know they stocked them at a park by here, but they shut the park down. They stocked them and then they shut the park down. I'm like, what? Come on.
Nobody knows what they're doing right now.
Yikes.
Yeah, I want to go get a steelhead. I tried a couple days ago, 2 days in a row with no luck, but I got a crap ton of smelt, so that was good. The kids, it was their first time eating it and stuff, so they liked it a lot. It was
I've
fun.
never caught a smelt.
So we went. It was my first time too, because where I'm from, they don't have them or whatever. At least I never went with any. Maybe they do, but I never went. But up here, yeah, we went out the other night, and the locals were saying it's the best that they'd had ever seen. I'm talking 2 or 3 scoops with the net, and the bucket was full. So we had more than we wanted. You just cut the head off, you gut them, you batter them with like egg yolk and like batter, deep fry them, and they're like a popcorn chicken / like fish stick type thing. They're good, man. The girls, the kids love
me. Like with smelt, I always thought they were a bait fish for some reason. I thought they were a bait fish.
They could be. I'm sure they are. I'm sure people use them as bait fish.
But
I think
I didn't. No, I didn't even know that people cooked them at all. I just thought they were straight like shad.
It's a big yeah, I got you. No, it's a big thing up here. It's like a yearly tradition. Like you get sick of it. You don't want to eat them more than a couple days or whatever. And like they only run for 10 days like they're gonna be gone. It's like a one shot, you know what I mean, for the year. But it's just a tradition, like picking apples or you know what I mean, just that seasonal type. Maple syrup. Do you guys do maple syrup down there or no?
Oh, it's used around here.
Yeah,
there's maple tours you can do. Like there's different houses within miles.
Dude, in Quebec, here in Canada, in one of the provinces, a couple years ago, there was a maple syrup heist.
A heist.
They stole thousands of dollars worth of, or maybe millions of dollars worth of maple syrup. It was the most Canadian thing ever, bro. I couldn't believe it, man.
The article starts with A.
Yeah. Sorry about this, but
7,000 gallons of maple syrup stolen.
No, liters. We're in Canada here. Liters.
That is very Canadian. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, I thought it was
think though. There's a lot of money there. You know, it's syrup, but there's a lot of money there.
There really is. Yep. It's funny. It's absolutely hilarious, but it's true. There is a lot of money in it. Millions of dollars, man.
Yeah. And Tripper getting up.
No, he's snoring. He's whimpering in his sleep.
There we go. At what age did Joe start doing bushcraft?
Oh man, that's a good question. Well, I was always really into camping. You know what I mean? I like the idea of it, and I went car camping with my mom a few times when I was younger. But I want to say probably around 14 or 15, I really started to like understand that I could do more than just go car camping and like learning skills and things like that. I want to say around 15. But again, back then, the resources, there was no like just hop on YouTube and watch someone camping. Like there was no.
Yeah.
I grew up, there was no YouTube. You know what I mean? Like when I started learning things online, I was reading articles and like searching out these rudimentary, like grainy ass, like potato shot bushcraft videos. But yeah, probably around 15.
Well, like me, like you said, without YouTube, me personally, I have no one around me that's into it. Like without YouTube, I would have not have been into it. Like I think the first video I seen that was bushcrafty-ish. Like around the same time I was watching you, but I think the first one I seen, I don't know if you know him at all. Like he hasn't posted in a while. It was Day on Today, or it was God's One Marine.
The God's One Marine.
Yeah.
Ralphie, or what was his name?
I don't know.
I know Jack. He's a good old boy, right?
Yeah, he always cooked rice with stuff.
Yeah, bro. I know exactly who you're talking about. I used to watch that kid too, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, I always think about that. And that's what I started liking it, because it looked cool, you know? And
yeah, I didn't think, man, you're taking me back right now. Do you remember, did you ever watch Red Hawk 123?
No.
That was around the same time too. I think he was a native guy. And I remember I bought a Condor Maxpedition Condor 2 because he had one, and this was back before I knew anything. I'm talking like I didn't have a YouTube channel. Like I've had a YouTube channel forever. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's crazy. You know, like with me, like the thing about YouTube that makes me super happy is once like a kid will comment that I inspired him to put up like a bird feeder.
Yeah.
Like, because that's a whole spark. You know, that one thing. Like with me, like I said, I watched him, you know, in his canoe and stuff, and his little Ziploc bags of rice and his bannock, and I thought it was really cool. And without that, I wouldn't have been into it at all.
Yeah, you know what? I think what I first saw was like Survivor Man, like Les Stroud's Survivor Man, and then like Ray Mears on TV, and that's what really sparked the interest. And I think that's when I was around 15. And then I started like searching out books at the library. I would get a Morris Kahansky Bushcraft, Northern Bushcraft, and read that like the Bible, and like just go out and try and practice things around the. And I lived in like the city, man. There was nowhere to go, but I would just find little ditches and like little like crappy little place I probably wouldn't even supposed to be at, you know what I mean? Just doing things. But like, yeah, man. I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah.
Hey, but it's crazy. So you do remember him then? I know if you were gonna go back and look at it again, I know he changed it to Day on Today.
You're right.
Because it was God's One Marine, and then he changed it to that. But how long ago was that? Like
man,
6
I don't
years?
know. No, longer, dude. I don't know when he changed it, but much longer than 6 years ago when he had that channel. Like man, like a long time ago. Like, because like you know Elfie Aesthetics, the British guy Elfie Aesthetics, because he's had a channel.
I can't say I know.
You gotta watch. That's hilarious stuff. He's had a channel for a real long time too, and he doesn't even post more. And I think that's been 6 years, but. This was man. Do you remember like way back in the day, like really big monkey, Dave Pearsons? He's still going. That's crazy, man.
I just remember like coming from school, and then I just watched those videos. And even though I wasn't doing any of it at the time, like, you know, I was learning, I guess you could say. Like, I wouldn't have went out and tried bushcraft. And I wouldn't have made bannock and like anything, little things like that. Like what got me started on trapping, and I always remember this video. It was a video, I don't know what I think it was Trapper Mike or something. And like I said, these are people that don't even post anymore. It's been years, but I still go back. And it was this kid checking his squirrel trapping line, and he had all these Victor rat traps set out, and he was checking his squirrel line. And I don't know why. That's what got me like hooked on trapping. But like I said, like watching one video can get you hooked on like something for a while.
I totally agree. I liken it to skateboarding videos. 'Cause when I was younger, when I was like in high school and stuff, we used to skateboard and we would watch these skateboarding videos and we would get amped up and we would go and skateboard. You know what I mean? So it's the same type of thing. It's like even four-wheeling, like so you're saying with bushcraft for you, and like that did that for a long time for me too. And then I became the guy who was inspiring other people, you know what I mean? And all that's good. And now I'm watching these four-wheeling videos and I'm like getting inspired to go four-wheeling.
Oh yeah, I
And I
heard
want to
about that.
right, I want to go mudding and stuff like that. So now it's like a whole other hobby for me. So you're exactly right. And I've had people email me, tell me in person, call me on the phone how like a lot of people never even thought about going camping before. Now they're so super into it, or people who don't even care about camping but just love the videos. You know what I mean? But yeah, watching things. You're right. You're 100% right. Watching people do things on YouTube can give you a whole nother idea that could be your hobby that you would never even thought about before.
Like I could have one subscriber, and like I do a bird feeding video, and some kid, because you can tell if it's a kid usually when they comment, and they'll comment, they'll say, "What kind of bird feeder should I put out?" or something like that, and then they come back and say they did it. That would make me feel as accomplished as I am now, like just seeing that, because
Definitely.
it's crazy, the things you don't think you're sparking to people, like
Oh,
the
dude,
random things.
it's
It's
huge.
nuts.
It's crazy. The amounts of emails I get. You touch people and you have no idea, man. You're just making these videos. You're just camping. You're going out having a good time doing your thing, but people are getting stuff from it uh, unintentionally. You're not putting that in intentionally for any specific reason, but maybe something you touched on, maybe make someone remember something. You know what I mean? Like in their own life or whatever. And I've had people, man. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not saying any of this to make like for any reason other than the truth. But like I met a bunch of fans at Conneautville last year. I had a guy tear up in front of me, a grown ass man, like a normal, solid looking, like look me right in the dead in the eyes. I could tell he was all there in the head. You know what I mean? Crying, saying, "You saved my life, man." Like shaking my hand. I'm just like, man, like I don't even know. Like, give me a hug, bro. Like I don't even know what to say to that. You know what I mean? I had a few people saying I changed their lives and things like that. But that one dude, it like sticks with me. You saved my life, Joe. And it's just a normal dude, a little bit older than me, like healthy guy. You know what I mean? Like just a normal kind of guy. And yeah, man, crazy. All I'm doing is making camping videos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all I'm doing. So it's like it's very cool that there is byproducts of that.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like, yeah, and like we just said, like it's the stuff you wouldn't think, you didn't know right before then that, you saved someone's life, you didn't even know that. And
No, I had no clue, and I
figured
wasn't.
it out, and it's instantly locked with you that, for a while you've changed someone, and it's
No, it's
crazy.
very rewarding, and the amount of people that say that they've been out camping, even just trying it, is very rewarding too. So yeah, it's been a good ride. You know what I mean? It's definitely not over, and it's changed my life. It's changed a lot of people's lives around me, people that I don't know, and I've just been super blessed that everything has happened the way it's happened, and I've been allowed to do what I've been allowed to do, and I never, ever, ever, ever imagined. I never planned for it. I never thought that it would happen. It just all organically happened.
Yeah, like with solo camping alone, when I did that, obviously I didn't know anything about it, like the camping, and that was one of my like first starts.
But that
And
was
just
the reason.
that,
Go
just
ahead.
that alone, I get messages from kids, and I'm glad I do. And they say that I started them, they said they're right by their house, but I started them going out and camping, or even getting, because I had a cheap Ozark trail tent. Like a normal kid, they're gonna get what I had then,
Yes.
and it's the same stuff. And a lot of people think that you instantly should get the best of the best gear, but that's not how it works for anything.
Not for me, it
And
didn't.
no, and it just doesn't happen. That's not how it works. So people seeing that, and I get messages from kids that started because of it, and it was awesome.
So I want to let people know, in case you came over here from my channel and don't 100% know Nicholas Green or his channel. Nick had a video how many years ago?
2
2 years ago, go viral. It was his 60 subscriber special. 60?
70
70.
70.
And he camped in his backyard and stuff, and the video blew up. This dude, even Leon Lush, that I really like to watch, did a video about him, and like, just because it was so wholesome, it was like, I'm just out here camping, guys, and like just having fun or whatever. And it was right. It was like, I watched it. I'm like, man, what did this kid do? Like, I'm out here camping all the time. I can't even get these views. You know what I mean? So it's like everybody in the field, I'm sure, watched it and knew about it and everything. And so, anyways, that's what he's referring to when he's saying his backyard thing. I can definitely see that inspiring people. You know what I mean? You're by yourself. You're a younger kid at the time. You know what I mean? You're camping. You're enjoying it. It's a blizzard. You have no like negative bone in your body about it. You know what I mean? It's very inspiring.
And like a lot of kids, they're gonna be like, oh, it's not camping if I don't go out there. And I think them seeing me doing it, right by the house. That was right by the house, and like for that part of it, a lot of them seeing that, it's just awesome, because I'm sure, they're, some parents would tell them, oh, that's not camping, you're right by the house. But, I think them seeing that might have helped out with that.
It's totally fine, man. I don't understand why people put labels or parameters on things at all. You want to have
No,
fun, have fun.
yeah.
I used to camp outside behind my house all the time. You know, you can't get out all the time, and sometimes you don't want to. You can't, especially even when you're younger, man. There's nothing wrong with it all. You know, I've told people tons of times, if you're not even having fun, just bail. Like, just go home. Have a contingency plan to leave. If you're out there and the weather changes and you're getting wet, or you want to be like, especially for your first couple times, you don't want to, just leave. You're not going to disappoint me. I'm not going to think any less of you. You know what I mean? I've done it. I don't care. You know what I mean? The whole point of this is having fun, not to like make a badass out of yourself and defeat nature. This isn't man versus wild over here. You know what I mean? Just out for camping.
Because like then I was scared of the dark, and I didn't want to be far. I didn't want to be far at all. Then if something went wrong, I could run in the house and everything, and I had security to where, okay, I could sleep well.
Right.
Like,
And
once you have that security, you can slowly build out from that.
Right.
And
yeah,
if you feel comfortable,
that's how you get the confidence. Exactly. You're doing it already out there. You do that a few times. Oh, maybe I'll go a little bit further. You don't just jump into the deep end right off the hop. You know what I mean?
No.
Exactly. It's like with anything. Yep.
Yeah. But, being able to see the house then, there was this whole thing with me where, okay, I can sleep comfortable. It's right there. If the tent catches on fire, there's the house. I could see, I could see the porch light through the thin vinyl on the tent,
Right.
and it's comforting. But eventually I lost that. I didn't have to be super close or anything. So
Right.
there you go. Best knife for under $100, all around use.
I'd say the Mora Garberg. Is that under $100? If not, it's right around that.
Oh, more is usually cheaper, aren't they?
Yeah, but the Garberg is a different story. It's a different Mora. It's full tang. It's an exposed tang. It's a 1/8 thick.
It's 102.
There you go. I'll call the $2.
It's 100.
Yeah, $100. I would say that one, man. More Garberg. It's solid. It's very solid. The spine is super sharp. You can actually scrape a fire steel with the exposed tang. You can exposed pommel tang. You can beat on it. I would say more Garberg.
I'd say the more companion.
Yeah.
Just I got him sent to me in fan mail. I didn't know about him before it, and I got him sent fan mail. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And I tried it, and I just love it. I just love it.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with Mora at all.
Trying to find comments here. I have my own questions, but I want to see if I can find any that anyone wants to know. There goes the house. All right. Another thing I like to ask, like canoes. What's your dream canoe? Like a dream canoe?
Man, I have it already. It's my my Swift pack boat. It's lightweight. I paddle it with a double blade. It's like I have a seat inside of it. 26 pounds. You know what I mean? Super durable. It's yeah, I have it. It's my Swift Adirondack Pack 13.6.
Yeah, because I see the videos of you portaging with it. It's on your back and you're just going along.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
like, is that heavy or like what? Like what's
26 pounds, man. And then my backpack usually weighs about 30 pounds. So on top of my back, less than 60 pounds. And like I'm a little guy, you know what I mean? So like that's about max for me. But I'm walking up steep inclines, you know what I mean, through muck. It's not just a road, it's through the bush. So yeah, that's my ideal canoe. That's the one I love, man. I'll keep that one forever. I'll get another one when it breaks. And
awesome? Oh, what was I gonna say? See, my memory's terrible. Like I have good questions, and after this stream, I'll kick myself in the butt for it. But would you ever go gold panning, or have you gone gold panning before?
I
Or is
haven't,
it
but
something you don't even
it's not
have
something
interest in?
it's not something I really think about too much, but I would do it if I was in a spot for it. I would think that'd be kind of interesting. Yeah.
I'm like really into the whole like old western kind of thing, like where I'd wear like
The
the leather
prospect,
jackets and I'd have the hat, like this,
right.
and like I just love like the old western thing, and that's probably what I'll do down the road is travel, and then have this canvas tent and things like that. But
Yeah, that's cool.
ask Joe if he's coming back to the Northwest Territories for future adventures.
Oh, I'd love to. What's up, buddy? Um, yeah, I think they shot Alone while I was up there. Actually, I thought they shot one of the seasons while I was up there. I'd like to. It was nice. There was lots of super awesome fishing opportunities there. I don't know. I want to do a lot of things, but again, who knows what's going on these days?
Oh, it was there was another thing. Like, would you ever want to build like one of those above ground, like up in the trees, like campsites, like what Fowler did, like where it's up in the tree, like everything, like Star Wars, whatever those things are called in
No, not
Star Wars.
really.
You just
Not really. No, it's
straight to the
cool.
ground.
Yeah, no, I like it. Like it's a cool novel thing or whatever. It's just not really. There's no
You just don't
interest in
like it.
doing that.
And if you're not
No,
interested, you don't do it. Like you
right.
said earlier.
I would build like a treehouse for my kid for sure. Like I'd be interested in that definitely, but probably more of like a. I have a spot outside where I keep my firewood, and I'll probably make the top of it instead of putting a roof. I'll make the roof the bottom of the treehouse, so the treehouse will end, and that'll be the roof of the firewood store. I think that's a
Oh,
good
that'd be
idea.
cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you could definitely build something like that, but like you said, if you're not interested in something, just
Yeah, and again,
not
I don't
even.
want to like I would only be doing it for a video, right? And I don't want to piggyback on
Yeah,
the guy's ideas and stuff. So
yeah. Like that's the thing with me. Like there was stuff I had planned until recently. I found out that I changed from what I truly wanted to do on YouTube, and I started going with bushcraft, like me, and I'm not that into bushcraft. I'm into
right,
it and I like it, but it's not something I go out all the time and do.
I hear
So
you.
recently I said I didn't want to market like the whole bushcraft thing because I don't want to have anyone stay if I'm not doing a ton of bushcraft. But that's one of the things that I had to change because I got stuck in this route where I see YouTube. Oh, I'm an outdoor YouTuber. I got to do this because it's an outdoor channel,
I
and
know.
I got away from it because it's just not the way to go.
No, you know what? You got to do what you want to do because you're never going to be able to sustain doing something that you feel like you need to do as opposed to something you want to do.
Yeah. Oh, I seen a comment. I don't know where it went, but they said, "How tall are you, Joe?"
I think I'm like 5'9". Well, you know what? I'll
I'm
tell you right now. I'll tell you right
oh,
now. We're gonna have to
we
convert
got
it
to
though.
be official. He's got to be official, guys.
We'll have to convert it because this is in centimeters now. 175 centimeters.
Send
Look,
him.
I got it here. 175 cm in feet is 5'7" 4". So like 5'7.5".
Really?
No, sorry, 5'7". Yeah, 5'7". That's really short.
No, it's not bad.
No, that's pretty
I'm
short.
no. Trying to put something.
How tall are
Um,
you?
I'm I'm 5. I think I'm actually 6 now.
What? Come on.
Well, I'm sorry,
You looked a
but
lot shorter laying down in that viral video. You're camping,
oh yeah, that was oh yeah, that was 2 years ago. So
and you were in a tent.
my shoulders are huge. I know I'm a huge guy, but my shoulders, they're huge. Like I don't know why they're so big, but they are huge. My shoulders. I don't know why,
Be a football
but
player. I have the opposite problem. I'm like a scarecrow, like a skin and bones type.
yeah, like with me, like my torso is like longer than my legs. Like my legs are short, but I'm like 6
maybe
foot.
maybe don't play football then.
No, well, I see they wanted me to play football because of my shoulders, and I know I could tackle the heck out of someone, but like I had bad asthma, like
Mm,
exercising asthma. It's that bracket, so I couldn't even do that. And
right.
uh, I really did want to tackle someone, but
Yeah,
I
they
just
they didn't ask me to play football.
oh Joe,
I actually played baseball. I really enjoyed baseball. I was third base.
will you be converting your ATV to carry a canoe so you can go deep in the backcountry?
Yes, 100%. I will be doing that, and I'm getting a secondary ATV as well, so I can go with people. But yeah, I'm going to be doing that. There's a lot of lakes I can get back into and fish that people can't get to without an ATV. So 100%, I'm going to be doing that. Again, though, just right now, I'm not really allowed to camp or anything unless it's on private land. So me getting out far back into a place and then having to come back out in the same day is not, and canoeing in there is not very appealing. But I will be getting that rack on regardless. Yes, good idea.
What's your dream four wheeler?
Hmm. It's a Can-Am XMR and Renegade XMR 1000. It's a mud racing, like big old fat tires. I got it. I actually just bought it. I have to wait to go get it though.
Mm. I heard you talk about it. As soon as you said the Can-Am, I was like, oh wait, is it the one he got? Because
Yeah, it is.
me, I have a it's a Yamaha Bear Tracker, and I know if you hit a hill with that, it's not good. So
No? Why you
no,
flipping?
I want to get a Raptor. Oh,
Those are nice.
it's like a stick to the trail. It
Right.
can go like 50, but you hit a pebble with it going 50, and you're going off the road. So
I have a Polaris Sportsman 570 right now, 2017, and I can only get it up to 50 miles an hour at the very max, which is okay on the road or whatever, but she's
I don't go
wobble.
fast.
I am stupid. I like it. I've never had toys before and I really enjoy it. I feel like a kid again. I'm 34, 35. I'm 34 or 35 right now. But and I've never really had any toys before, so I jump on them and I just as fast
See,
as I can
I
go.
would, but the neighbors around here, it's like they have a gun aimed at you if you go over like 20. So
Yeah, I
it's
wouldn't want that.
no, it's like the ones down the road. It's not saying all older people are like this, but the ones down the road at least, they're like they watch you like a hawk and they
Yeah,
flip out if you go any fast. So
yeah, I'm lucky here that we got pretty much just open. Everything's good, but
that's good.
yeah.
Oh, here you go. Translated, Joe is short.
Oh,
He's not that short. Just think, there's people out there like 5.
So 5'7".
I'm trying to help out. I'm trying to help out, Joe.
5'7" is not tall. Like, I know I'm definitely taller than people. I'm not the shortest guy in the room all the time. I am a small dude though. Like in general, like there's a lot bigger people than me for sure.
See me, I am like 6 foot, but I'm huge. Like, I'm huge, so I mean, it kind of like evens itself out, I guess.
Yeah, I think I weigh man, like I'd be flattering myself to say I weighed 140 pounds. I would. My ideal weight is probably like 150. If I get up to 150 pounds, I'd be super happy. But I'm probably around like 135 right now.
Well, you can take some of mine if you want.
You know, everybody always says that. I really wish I could, man. I really do.
You need to cook some more steaks out in the woods,
bro.
Or get like 3 sticks of trout like that.
Yeah, just fatten up on the
it don't. You seem like a normal person in your videos, so like, you know, like weight and height wise.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's the camera, right? Like, I'm a little bit small. I don't know, but you know what? Like, I do what I need to do though. Like, I'll get up off the couch and go bust my ass on a 9-day canoe trip. You know what I mean? I don't know a lot of people that can do that. Like,
no,
I'm huffing and puffing for the first couple days or whatever, but I get back into it. A lot of it's yeah. A lot of it's muscle memory and just realizing that you're going to get stronger. It's a lot of it's mental, actually, to be honest with you. When I'm doing like a 3-kilometer portage, which takes like, I don't know, however long it would take, like an hour, 2 hours. Yeah.
I'm sure you beat me in an arm wrestle though.
The lockdown in my country, Canada's a big old country, so it's a little bit different every where you go. In the north, it's not so bad, you know what I mean? But down where I'm from, it's a little bit worse. Toronto is really bad. Like, think of New York compared to like, I don't know, somewhere rural. But Toronto is probably similar to New York in Canada terms. But as a whole, Canada is not doing as bad as the States.
See, everything here is locked down, like everything. But I mean, it is a virus, you know, and it's a bad one, you know. It is doing a lot of bad, but also, you know, the virus spreads so fast.
Yeah,
but
it's like
the campgrounds are shut. That's ridiculous.
Dude, I can't have a fire. There's a fire ban here. There's snow. There's snow outside. There's a fire ban. It's crazy. But it is what it is, and it's like, and I get people saying, "Oh, I'd have a fire anyway." Well, you can do that, but I can't put that on video, man. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And then a ranger sees the smoke, and it's like, you know, it is nuts. No, but
right.
It's stupid. It is so dumb.
Yeah,
like these trails that are deep in the woods, these trails, and you can't go on those. It's nuts.
See, I'm still out. I'm 4-wheeling around. You know what I mean? I'm on trails. I'm fishing. I'm just not camping, and I can still camp on private land. I have like 4 or 5 little plots around here. I have a couple hundred acres I can go on private land. It's no big deal. It's just camp with fire. So that kind of puts a damper on things when it's cold still. Like, you know what I mean? Like, sitting at night doing nothing with no fire and no light, no daylight is
what are you doing? Like,
yeah, doesn't make for a good video either.
I prefer camping with friends, like all the way. Like, I don't like doing like solo. I like going out with a friend or something. I can cook them food, you know. We could do whatever, like stupid stuff we do. Like, we'll get pine sap and put it on a stick and then light that, and then we'll experiment with stuff. Like, when I'm alone, I don't do that stuff. I just kind of, you know, I just sit there and.
Well, it's a time to read a book when you're alone. You know what I mean? Time to write in a journal. Time to read a book. Hey, bring a Nintendo DS if you want to, man. I'm not judging you for that at all either. Like, who cares? I'm not one of these guys saying electronics have to stay home, man. It doesn't matter. That's how I get my kids out to the woods with me. Bring your tablet. Come on, it's fine.
Bring out the 65-inch TV with the entertainment center.
There you go.
Like me, something I always take is trapping catalogs, like the catalogs for trapping supplies, and I just looked through it like 100 times.
Backwoodsman magazine. Bring that. Millie, yeah. Millie says, "How much does your camera gear weigh?" It all depends. quite a few pounds on a backpacking trip. I don't ever want to bring my big camera anymore. I want to just bring a GoPro. I'd say with the tripod, the camera, the batteries, man, we're looking 10 pounds. We're looking at least 10 pounds. And normally it sits at the top of my stuff. Maybe 7 pounds.
My whole camera setup is this, and my it's a Sunpack tripod. Honestly, with me, I prefer like cheap tripods, the Sunpack.
Me too. Yeah.
I don't recommend getting a super high-end tripod. You're gonna beat the crap out of it if you're like traveling or you got a four-wheeler. I'm sure they're super nice, but I just don't want to break one. That's all.
So I have a good tripod for when I'm going to an overnight bushcraft camp, going to the fort, going to a place where I don't have to hike in very far, and or whatever. I'm not moving around. But when I'm doing a canoe trip, I buy the cheapest. Like crap, I know I'm gonna break this tripod. I know it, but it's lightweight and it's small. And that's the thing. I can't. Those good ones are not lightweight or small, and that's the reason you want a heavy tripod to be good, so the wind doesn't knock it down. You know what I mean? So it's, but I don't want to carry heavy things, right? So
I've never had a nice tripod. Like, what is it like when you got a nice tripod? Did you notice a difference, or is it
just like the smoothness of the panning and the ball head, maybe, or like the solidness on the ground? But man, who cares? Like, it's not anything that I'm looking for. I just want lightweight.
Yeah, like, I mean, this camera, I do have a DSLR. It's like a Canon T6, and I could not get into DSLRs. I just couldn't. I couldn't get into it. And
Right.
I'm stubborn like that. If I can't get into an electronic, I just can't do it. So I got this thing, and it fits in this pocket because I always wear a setup like this shirt-wise, and it just fits in there. I can just pull it out, but like the tripods, I think it was a $30 Sunpack. You know the Sunpack brand? It's like a Sunpack something 75. $30, and I had one. It lasted me for 2 years. And when I first started and I got a GoPro, I got this like 15-pound telescope stand, literally like 15 pounds, and I put a GoPro sticky grip on the top of it. And that thing, it either went that way or that way. But that's what I used. Like the tripods, I wouldn't really stress on tripods if you're starting to get one.
Yeah, even like a Gorilla Pod, a big Joby Pod is fine. You know what I mean?
I definitely say don't get one that's under like 30. I think like 30 is right around the limit, I'd say, like on my end for tripods. Like I've had them under 30, and a lot of times under 30, they're like super cheap. Like, I set it in the one leg. I had one before. The one leg, it just bent. It was aluminum, and it just folded in like that. I had 3 of them like that.
Yeah, even the ones I buy, like I know I'm going to break them. You know what I mean? Like
yeah. But I will say though, with the Sunpack, that thing lasted a long time for the Sunpack. And so when you go like canoeing and everything, you take your cheaper tripod.
Lightest, crappiest one I can find, and then and then that way it's lightweight, and I'm not lugging a big old one around.
Question, Joe, are you going to start using a drone?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. Again, it all depends where I'm camping, right? Like on private land, it's fine, but I can't use it in parks or anything like that. So depending on how this goes, I don't know. It's nice. It adds a lot to it, but then it's an anchor. Like it's just a weight because it dies, and then you have to lug it around. So on like canoe trips and stuff, probably not. But maybe for like a stationary camp type thing, we'll see.
See, I know, drones are something a lot of people say, if you do YouTube, you have to have a drone. But honestly, they do add a little bit to it. But like you said, like the luggage it adds, and
It's even
Go
ahead. So,
No, well, I have this one right here actually, and the whole drone setup fits into this box.
Oh, that's pretty good.
But really, though, I mean, like even if I do use it, I use it for about 2 minutes of footage, and
exactly, it's just B-roll. It's just
yeah,
B-roll. Like I know it adds to the video. I get it, you know what I mean? But it's definitely not
yeah,
necessary. Like I don't know, man. It's a big chunk of money. I'll use it for probably a few videos, and then probably wouldn't even really use it too much anymore because again, it's like I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm doing something epic when I'm building the fort. I'm just building a fort. You know what I mean? I am doing what I'm doing. If I was where I would want to use it is doing something epic, like on these canoe trips where you see these big like expanses and stuff, and that's not really where I can use them. So it's like it's a
yeah.
weird spot for me. You know what I mean? That's why I really haven't done it in the past, and I'm not really super hyped on getting one.
And you said about the Gorilla Pods. Do you have luck with Gorilla Pods? Because I know you can put them on trees and stuff like that.
No, not with the DSLRs. They fall. They're too heavy with the
Yeah,
on a tree. You can just stick them on the ground or like on a ledge or something.
do you recommend them?
I like them for like more of a vlogging thing where you go as you're
Yeah.
going and sit it down and do a little quick little things. But as a whole, no, I usually don't use them.
Yeah, like with me, I was gonna. That's the only reason I brought it up. I've had 2 of them, and both of them I've had. The one of the legs, at least one of them, it will break off, and you can put it back in because it's like a socket, but then it's super loose,
Yeah.
and it doesn't even stay there. So I just didn't have luck with them. But
yeah, no, I never had that problem, but it's just the low angle and then never being able to actually stick it on a tree like they show. You can do that with a GoPro on it or like a small point and shoot. But but put in front of you vlog
just
style.
like a yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking. I don't know if you've seen it. It's the DJI. It's like the Osmo or something.
Yeah, I have it.
Yeah. Do you like it?
Yeah, I love it. It's amazing.
I was gonna get one because it looked
way
super smooth.
GoPro. This
Yeah.
That's it. Look, so on the GoPro, I broke. This is a 7. What is this? I don't
That's the
know. It's
one I
one.
have.
It's one of them, and I broke the screen on it. Okay, so I had to figure out how to get it off, order a new screen, all that stuff. On the Osmo Action Cam, it's like you can just unscrew them, and you can add different ones. You can add a wider lens. You know what I mean?
Really?
Replace. Yeah, so it's not no BS messing around. With the
Oh,
other
that's
one, you
cool.
gotta like pry it and twist it and do all sorts of weird stuff. But anyway, I do like it. It has a good stabilizer in it, more so than the GoPro does. It doesn't have as many field of view options. I think there's only 2 field of view options, but the microphone's good. It's DJI, they're a good quality camera, right? Like,
Yeah.
and it has the front screen. It has the front LCD, so you can see yourself. You know what I mean? Like a flip out screen on a DSLR.
How much does that camera run? That one?
I don't know. I can't remember. 500 maybe. I don't remember. Something like that though.
I mean
It's the same price as the new GoPro.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you can take off the actual lens and put a different one on,
Or it's easy to do too. Yeah, I like it. I've been using it for a year, and I like it more than the new GoPro I have. And it fits in not the GoPro housing, but all the attachments. It's the same bottom, the 2 prongs.
really?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Where the screws
Yeah.
in. It's in my like the clamp. It fits in everything that the GoPro fits in.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Well,
it's
that's
handy.
cool.
I know. I don't know if they had to pay them some money for that or what, but it all fits in. It's pretty handy.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
It's crazy, it used to be it was just GoPro, GoPro. If you want like a action camera, like a little one, you got to get a GoPro.
Yeah.
That's like all there was a while ago. And I mean, if you're like a trapping channel where you trap, and you do underwater trapping, that's where I find GoPro the most useful, is when I was outside. I could throw it around. It was freezing outside. And I could take it underwater. Pretty much anything. You could throw it around. But like you said, the screen on that, it always scares me. I've never broke it, knock on wood, but the screen, that little glass piece on there, it always makes me nervous.
Man, I've had probably 6 GoPros throughout the years. I've never broken any of them. This brand new one, I dropped it. I want to say this far, just softly, just fell out of off my lap, like when I was crouched down onto a rock and onto a big rock, and it was just like spiderweb the whole freaking the lens cover. But anyways, I ordered a new one, so I'm just waiting for it in the mail.
Like this thing, I'm happy with it. Like this camera, I think it was 500 about 2 years ago, and I've been using the same exact thing for literally 2 years. Like almost all my videos after it switched from GoPro, all of them. And this camera's lasted. You think like with these cameras it'd be easy to break them, but I've dropped this thing a lot. But man, I'm very clumsy. I'm super clumsy, and pretty much anything I hold will be dropped at least once. So Alexis Outdoors said, hopefully Tripper doesn't knock over the tripod. I skipped past it.
He will. He does.
Well, I know Nicholas. It's I was gonna say right now, because it's already half an hour past an hour. So if you want to stay a second, I'll end it off. And I thank everyone for stopping by. This is the first one that I've done of this. Completely the first one. And I plan on doing more. I plan on having like old forest loggers and gold miners on, and fishermen, stuff like that. Right. And also YouTube channel. So hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for coming on, Joe. I know you stuck around longer than you wanted, but I appreciate it.
Oh, it's fun, man. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I thank everyone for stopping and everyone commenting. And thanks for watching, guys. So I'm going to end it and not look awkward, hopefully. Goodbye.